I disabled my son's car key fob the morning after the Ring doorbell caught him sneaking 3 friends out at 2 a.m. past the camera he didn't know I'd added. So some background. My son Marcus is 16. He has a car because we made a deal. Good grades, no lying, no sneaking around, and we'd help him get something to drive. He's had it since October. I genuinely thought things were going well. He seemed happy, seemed responsible. I actually bragged about him to my brother-in-law at Thanksgiving. Then about 3 weeks ago, my wife mentioned that Marcus had been acting a little off, coming home tired on weekday mornings, sleeping through his alarm. She thought maybe school was stressing him out, but something about it bothered me, so I added a second Ring camera over the side door, the one that faces the driveway. I didn't tell Marcus because, honestly, I wasn't expecting to catch anything. I just wanted to know. I found out at 6 a.m. on a Tuesday. I was having coffee and checking the motion alerts on my phone when the notification from 7 a.m. came up. Marcus, in a dark hoodie, opening the side door slowly. Then 3 of his friends filing out behind him, one of them carrying what looked like a backpack. They all got into his car. He reversed out of the driveway with the headlights off. He was back by 4:40 a.m. I sat there for a while just watching the clip. Then I watched it again. Then I opened the app on my laptop so I could see it bigger and make sure I wasn't misreading it. I wasn't. I didn't wake him up. I didn't go upstairs and bang on his door. I finished my coffee, went to work, and on my lunch break I called the dealership where we bought the car and had them remotely disable the key fob. It's a feature they have for situations exactly like this. They said it all the time during the purchase, and I'd filed it away thinking I'd never need it. That afternoon, Marcus texted me at 3:15 p.m. saying his car wouldn't start and he was stuck at school. I texted back, "I'll look at it when I get home." I could feel him getting impatient through the phone, but he didn't say anything else. My wife picked him up. By the time I got home at 6 p.m., he was already agitated. "Something's wrong with the fob," he said. "It's not responding at all. I tried the backup key and nothing. Can you call the dealership?" I already did. He waited. I kept setting my bag down, taking off my jacket. And they confirmed there's no mechanical issue with the car. He stared at me. "So what does that mean?" I pulled out my phone, opened the Ring app, and handed it to him. He watched the clip. I watched his face. He was doing this thing he's done since he was 8 years old, where he blinks fast when he's trying to figure out how much trouble he's in before deciding whether to lie. "That was one time," he said. "It wasn't one time." "What?" I went back through the motion history for the last 3 weeks. "That's the clearest clip, but it's not the first night." He handed the phone back to me and crossed his arms. "You added a new camera." "I did. You didn't tell me. I didn't know I needed to. We had rules. You agreed to them when you got the car." His jaw tightened. "So you're just spying on me now?" "Marcus, you were sneaking 4 kids out of my house at 2 in the morning. Where were you going?" He didn't answer. "Who were you with?" "Just friends." "Were you drinking?" "No." "Were they?" Silence. I told him I wasn't going to re-enable the fob until we talked through all of it. Where they were going, who was in the car, what they were doing out at 2 a.m. on a school night. He sat with his arms still crossed and said that was unfair, that I was punishing him without even knowing the full story. I said, "Then tell me the full story." He didn't. My wife came in from the kitchen and asked what was going on. Marcus looked at her like she was going to rescue him and said, "Dad disabled my car because of a Ring camera I didn't know existed." She looked at me. I turned the phone toward her and played the clip. She watched it twice and handed the phone back without saying a word to him. He tried again the next morning, came downstairs before school and said he was ready to talk if I was. I said good, sat down and asked him again where they'd been going. He told me they were just driving around, hanging out in a parking lot, nothing serious. He said one of his friends had some beer, but he personally didn't drink any. I asked why he couldn't do that at a normal hour. He said because it was easier to get out at night. Easier than asking. You would have said no. So you already knew it was something I'd say no to and you went anyway. He didn't have a response to that. The fob has been disabled for 9 days. He's been getting rides from my wife or taking the bus. He told his friends his car is broken. He hasn't told them why.